If you're new to yoga and still trying to grasp the concept behind the second limb, in today's video, we will be discussing the first part of the second limb, the first step, which is purity of the mind, saucha. How often do you find yourself letting those intrusive thoughts take over what's happening inside, what's happening internally? There are many days where we have these influences and these perceptions that creep in and we say, oops, I don't think I was supposed to think that. Or did I just say that? Did that just come out loud? We've been there. I've definitely been there. And it's human to have these natural judgments. Now, the concept behind the Niyama, which is our own internal observance, how do you challenge yourself to really take heed to what's happening internally? Because subconsciously, what's happening inside and the way we project it outwardly can also mirror to an individual how we are on the inside. It's that subtle way we go about presenting ourselves where that mask is actually released or lifted from how we present ourselves, and then our true nature is exposed. So when you think about saucha, purity of the mind, you have the capability to be more intentional about how you think, about the negative thoughts that we allow to creep in, or those dark moments that we have within that slowly come to light. The more you practice mindfulness, you can better control the way things come. You can better control the way you present yourself instead of that intrusive thinking, that negative self-talk, that self-doubt. You have the capacity to think more positively when you choose to uplift your mindset. Instead of thinking something ugly about yourself, you choose to have those conversations internally, those affirmations, other tools that could support you to redirect your mindset, such as meditation, deep breathing, those negative words that slowly creep up and rejecting them to say, this is not me. It's the natural instinct. It's the human instinct. So when you think about those things, one thing to remember, have grace. I remember a time when I went to the movies and I think it was a matinee. And for whatever reason, there was some disturbances that was happening during the movie, but one that really stuck out like a sore thumb to me, because in my mind, I think about the order or the conduct you have in the movie theater so that it does not be disruptive to others surrounding us. So for example, I was at a movie theater and normally you would do the normal things that would not be disruptive to being around others while we're all collectively watching a movie. Well, one thing that sticks out like a sore thumb for me is individuals who choose to have their cell phone out with the bright light. It drives me insane. It's just something about light that bothers me internally in a dark space or at night, and for whatever reason, I instantly casted judgment on that person to say something negative in regard to their behavior outside the scope of the boundary, which is typically you don't have your bright lights on and you definitely have your phone on silent when you're in the movie theaters. It's like an order of conduct. It's something that you do quite naturally, right? It's called consideration. Well, I had to think to myself, well, this is a moment for me to look within. I'm choosing to not be so dark in my thinking, not to have a negative mindset outside of the frustration of observing that this individual obviously doesn't have the consideration to turn down their light. But I had to think to myself, do I control my emotions? They have no clue how they make me feel in this present moment. I could look at this situation as saying, well, maybe they need that light to see what's going on. You never know what somebody else is doing and their intentions behind it. Or it could simply be it never occurred to them to turn their bright light down, or how impactful it could be to a person sitting next to them. Although sometimes it can be quite obvious. So with that being said, instead of allowing my mindset to go even deeper and think, she's just like everybody else, or he's just like everybody else who does this in a movie theater, they may be an inconsiderate person. It could have simply been a moment of unrealization for them. So I checked in with myself to say, maybe the situation is unbeknownst. That's how you allow saucha, the purity of your mindset, to not overconsume your emotional state and choosing to allow you to regulate your emotions within the present moment. Over the time, when you practice the mindset, or when you practice being more intentional in how you apply saucha in your practice off the mat, your personal growth will evolve because you're allowing the declutter, the discipline, as well as your wisdom to have grace, show gratitude within yourself as well as for others. Essentially, this will allow you to be more patient with others and yourself. So how do you allow saucha to project more positively and cut back or withdraw from more negative, intrusive thoughts? Outside the yoga studio, outside being on your yoga mat, how do you allow saucha to lead you on your daily ventures? If this is something that you would like to work more on and in your personal growth journey, I have a clarity quiz that you can apply to your daily practice of knowing more about yourself and in your inner world. And you can find that quiz here in the description box below. If you need more time to learn more about the next Niyama, you can find me over here.